So when I say in the thumbnail of this video that what is the purpose of video game remakes, I guess I need to obviously explain a bit more into what I mean by that. Now, initially when we think of remakes, we think of why they're being made as well. They were a hit back in the day, they'll be a hit now, so there's a good chance it'll sell. There's a recognizability of it. There's a fan base to it and stuff like that. And so these are the kind of obvious things you think of like why a remake is going to happen. On top of that, you'd have like say the need to modernize the game in terms of graphics and navigation of menus and modernizing some gameplay mechanics within the game without changing it too much. But as the title of the thumbnail of this video suggests, I want to go a bit more deep into what I think is the purpose of remakes. Or what I mean by that is like, what else can a remake do to further game design and games in general? What I mean by this is that like, I think that in my opinion, the purpose of remaking a game is not just to rehash the game and bring it to the fan base and audience and make money, which and all that, which is obviously part of what you're doing when you do this. But I think when you remake a game like that, I would imagine you're in the process of re-understanding what is it that made the game good. Was it very good gameplay mechanics? Was it solely that, or was it that and a combination of that? And good storytelling, and was it about the graphics themselves or the art direction and stuff? So in my mind, when I see the development of a remake, it's really to me it's like a learning process about learning what made the game work and stuff like that. Now, where I take it a bit further from just a straight remake is that as you're learning, the fundamentals of what made the game good, I would have, in my mind, if I was a game producer, I would then take all those fundamentals and then use it for making, if it's new IPs or within the universe of that game, new games that function on have the basis of what made the games good in terms of gameplay, etc. But don't just stop there. It evolves. The gameplay evolves. The way the stories are told, etc. It evolves it. It just doesn't end right there and then with a game remake. That's what I think really is the purpose of doing game remakes, is that you use it to learn and then to move forward. Yeah, and I mean, obviously we've had a lot of success with game remakes over, I would say, almost a decade. Like if you think about it in terms of, I would say the start would be like the remake of Doom, which I think was excellent, and Resident Evil 2, which you're seeing on this video, was very well done. And the MGS Snake Eater, which is going to be called MGS Delta, I think that's coming up, and I'm looking forward to that. Whether it's good or not, I don't know. And these have all been successful, but there's a limitation with these games. I mean, what I mean to say is that you do the remake and it stops there. Or if you want to carry it on, the thing is that if you're sticking to the remake, you're kind of bound to what the game was in the first place, like in terms of the characters, its environment. It's somewhat restrictive, which goes back to what I'm saying about evolving the gameplay. I mean, can you even do that if you're trapped within this certain world or parameters of the game? Like for instance, Resident Evil 2 remake. I mean, that's a good remake and stuff, but at the end of the day, there isn't. I mean, in the game itself, there isn't so much you can do because the fan base and the game itself adheres to a certain thing. There's a certain way the game went, the areas, the level design and stuff. So you're restricted in some way. The only way you're going to be able to go further is if you made a whole new type of IP within Resident Evil, or just a whole new IP in itself, and were able to go forward with the game design and stuff like that and evolving it. Maybe you could do like Resident Evil 2 Part 2 or something like that. Whether that will work, I'm not really sure, but as I say, sticking to the remake, you are kind of contained and restricted in a way of how you can evolve things. I mean, this actually came out before. The example I'm going to say came out before Resident Evil 2 remake came out, but one of my favorite Resident Evils is actually Resident Evil 7. And the thing about that was that game, it worked because, it went back to the basics. And it was just set in one house and really refocused on what made the original Resident Evil game good. While at the same time modernizing things, like in terms of how you use items, the animation of the enemies, etc., and stuff like that. And that's actually a very good example of what I mean by not being restricted, because you weren't restricted within a particular environment of a previous Resident Evil game if you're doing a remake. So it was able to do a lot of things, capturing the essence of Resident Evil while moving things forward in terms of the gameplay, graphics, etc. And I think that's probably one of the best examples I can think of how you would do these kind of games where you move things forward and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I like the game remakes. I would love to replay, MGS Snake Eater when it comes out. It was a good game. But like I say, I mean, it can't just stop there. It needs to be used as the basis of relearning what made games good in the first place and evolving that into, either new IP or variations within those game universes. So, yeah.